On today's show, Sherry's dream tells her how to maintain a high vibration. Emma, on the other hand, crosses a giant bridge, and that dream is about 3 past lives and this one. What does it all mean? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome to the Dream Interpretation Podcast with Michael and Sandy.
Hi, and Happy New Year to everyone.
This is another half hour of us eavesdropping on the very personal communication between the spirit world and heroes on their journey, because that's what you are, a hero on a journey. That's why we focus on dreams. If you want to know what's going on in your life right now, what you're meant to be doing at this very moment from the spirit world's perspective, then look no further than your dreams. Through analyzing your dreams, we reveal your potential and the obstacles you need to overcome. And we're very specific. We tell you what your superpowers are or what they might be. If you listen to your dreams, what would make you magnificent, and the bumps in life that hold you back. But these bumps are not in the way, they are the way. To get your dream analyzed on our show, go to dream-analysis.com/podcast and fill in the form there, or use the details you get from there to just email us your dream. That's all you have to do. Then sit back, enjoy the show, and wait for your dream to show up.
I'm excited about today's show. Everything's looking really good. It's going to be a great start to a new year.
All right. Well, we're just going to dive straight in with dreams. Let's have a go.
All righty. We have 3 dreams from Sherry. Let's look at the first one. The title is Levitating. Oh, I like that. I'm in a new house, new to me, but the house is older, from the 80s, and the floor plan is like my new house. With no furniture and white walls, I'm in the bedroom, which resembles my office, and I start to levitate. Ooh. A feeling comes over me and a lightness, and then I rise up and I'm levitating. I want to show my mom, so I head to the door, and my hands are covered with flour, white flour, and lots of it. I get it on the doorknob, which is a gold/brass doorknob. I'm able to open the door and move out into the room, flying or floating. I tried to call my mom, but my voice wouldn't work. She's in the kitchen with the lights on. She comes out and sees me. I bet she had to be surprised on that one.
Well, it's a dream. It's like the strangest things seem okay and ordinary in a dream. But the first part, a new house but older, is saying that this is a long-running issue for the dreamer, for Sherry. Bedrooms and dreams are often about our spiritual side because we leave our bodies when we sleep and are spiritually aware again during that time. The rising up and levitating back this up and make the dream about Sherry raising her vibration. Now, knowing this subject matter, the rest of the dream will make sense. It's all about what impairs Sherry's ability to raise her vibration. Essentially, we are all here to raise our vibration. That's the real goal. And to do that, we give ourselves obstacles in life that we must overcome. Deliberate obstacles. To make yourself feel better, you can call them challenges and pretend you're in a game where you have to rise up to the challenge to get to the next level. Well, whatever you do, Sherry's first obstacle is food, but we only see it on our hands. When talking with her and channeling on this, it turns out that she has set herself a strict goal of remaining vegan. This is personal to her, and she's been really good at it. However, her partner eats meat, and she recently cooked chicken for him and touched the chicken while preparing it. I asked her how she felt about that, and she said she felt gross, like she was doing something she didn't want to do. So this is the obstacle. The obstacle number 1, in fact, that she must overcome. Don't lower your vibration to please others. Does that mean she can't cook for her partner? Absolutely not. It just means she has to take steps to remain true to her own goals first. In her case, she could wear kitchen gloves while cooking so she never touches the foods that are bad for her. It's not really about the foods being absorbed into her body through her skin. It's more about remaining true to herself and thus maintaining her high vibration. Well, obstacle number 2 is wanting to show mom that she's levitating. In reality, her mom has no interest in spiritual things, and that's fine for her, fine for her mom. We all live different lives. But wanting mom to see it is an issue for Sherry. Again, in conversation, it turns out that Sherry lowers her vibration around mom. And this is probably pretty common for many of us. Yep. Sherry's mom is very critical of others. And when eating out with her, She is constantly pointing out issues with everyone at all the other tables. Look at that person who's overweight, and look at that person eats, and you get the picture. Sherry is being asked to not let mom drag her down. How? Well, by understanding why mom is doing this. Her mom's biggest fear is that of being criticized. Her criticism of others deflects attention away from herself. Knowing this, and knowing that this is a fear her mom picked up as a child, should help Sherry remain in her normal high vibrational state when out with her mom. Because seeing the reason for her action requires her heart to be open. An open heart is compassionate and accepting of where other people are. It does not require or ask them to change. Allowing mom to be where she is also allows Sherry to remain where she is. Quite a lovely dream.
Yeah, it is. I have one question, though. It mentions flour being on her hands. And yet in the analysis, you didn't talk about flour. And it sounds like when you talked to Sherry, she didn't talk about flour either.
She did. We did.
Okay.
It turns out, so dreams will use things that you know that you have an issue with. So if you already know you have an allergy to flour or wheat, which she does, she doesn't touch it. And dreams will then include those to say, hey, there's something else that you're eating, or that's, it's an ingredient, because flour is an ingredient. So there's an ingredient or something else you're eating that you need to figure out and stop eating. And in her case, it turned out to be couscous that she uses in some meals that she's not allowed to. Yeah. So sometimes I skip some of the things in the dream just to make it easier to follow. That's all. But you're
gotcha.
Fine. Quiz me.
Okay. The brass gold doorknob.
Okay, I opened the floodgates.
Yes, she did.
So she's a healer, and she is to find opportunities to remain in a high vibrational state. Basically, that's it. So it's like her challenge, where she is at now, in life, is to, despite everything else, despite the foods around her, the foods she eats, all that sort of stuff, she's to discover what it takes to remain in her current vibrational state. Doors are about opportunities, taking opportunities, and so on. But the gold on the doorknob is about healing. So she's kind of using her own healing ability in her dream to help herself. And when we were discussing her dream, there was a lot of talk about foods that are okay for her, that they hurt her body a little bit, but they don't impact her vibrational state. And then other foods that do, they drag her down. And she's like, they're more important for her to not eat them. The way her angels put it was, you're young enough now to get away with eating these foods. So there are certain foods she is going to have to stop eating as she gets older. Possibly, we improve all the time when we avoid foods that aren't good for us. And in general, we can take some foods that are bad for us as long as we do it in moderation.
All righty. So let's move on. And this one's a shorter dream from Sherry, and it's called Installing Cabinets. My mom is installing cabinets on the wall, but she put up the tile first, covering the whole wall. It was green glass, large format, subway tiles. Ooh, it looks like a recycled glass. I tell her she needed to put the cabinets up first before the tile. Whoops.
All right. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on this one, but basically, her mom is installing cabinets in a kitchen. So the subject matter is Sherry's digestive system. And that's in common with the last dream. Essentially, this dream is about how the lining of her digestive system is impacted by her mom. We know it's negative because of the tile. Anything square or rectangular in a dream is negative. The tiles on the wall represent the lining of her digestive system. And that quite often shows up. Wallpaper and things like that in dreams would also indicate the same thing. So these dreams, or the series of dreams that she has, are also showing how her digestive system is affected by foods that she eats and by how she feels when she's around her mom. And so this dream just kind of like continues that theme, saying that how you feel around mom, and we talked about that earlier because mom is very judgmental, impacts your own digestive system. So watch it.
Wow. Got to watch out for mom here. All righty. Now we're on to the shortest dream of the three, titled Baking a Cake. My mom, here we are again. My mom is baking a cake. I come to help her and it's already done. I take it out of the oven because she needed the pan again.
All right. So
that's short.
It is short. And I love this dream. It took me a minute to get it and I had to channel on it. Clearly, the dream series, like I said, continues the theme of how mom impacts Sherry. These were all in the same night. So we would kind of expect that from dreams that are in the same night anyway. But here, what it's really about is her mom doesn't stop to celebrate achievements. If she does something like baking a cake, and it's not about the like having a baby or anything like that, but it's about being creative and putting something together and creating something. She doesn't stop and celebrate the fact that she's achieved something. And that has impacted Sherry, the fact that her mom is like that. We know it's impacted her because the fact that they're both baking the cake. Well, I know mom has kind of done it, but she has to take it out because mom needs the pan. And so it's kind of like I've achieved something. I've created this wonderful cake, but I immediately need what I used for this creation to do something else. So mom never stops or never allows Sherry to stop and enjoy her achievements. And so that's going to be quite personal. Obviously, she was very aware of this one. So how does it affect her today? Does she stop and enjoy her own achievements? Does she say, like, I have now achieved a goal that I've been chasing for quite some time. I'm just going to enjoy this moment. Well, most likely from this dream, she's not able to be in that space because she hears mom in her head saying, you got to be doing something else. And when we were talking about this dream together, she just gave me a list that went on and on of how mom, like, here's examples of how mom would spoil a moment. So it's very real. I mean, our dreams are obviously very real, but what's behind them is very real and personal to us. And so for each of us, what's affecting us is unique. And we need to work on what our issue is. It's not a one size fits all. It's what is it that guts you and why do you need to work on these things? And again, the theme is digestive system and maintaining your vibration and positive state because mom's able to drag her down.
Oh, that was very good. I like the shortness of this dream. And there's a lot of people out there that they accomplish stuff and then they quickly move on without taking even a breath to celebrate all the fabulous things that they've done. And that's what I love about some of the stuff that we've been doing. We have coaches that make us stop.
Oh,
Say,
yeah.
Congratulations. Remember, celebrate.
Yeah.
And so,
in fact, any masterminding session, you're going to start off with celebrating your wins from earlier in the year or earlier in the week, whatever it is. It gets you into that executive state of mind, out of your fear state. Like, how do I make my business work or whatever it is that you're working on? If you can get yourself out of that fear state, you're going to be in a much, much better state then because you're open to the universe and your angels giving you information and even your own strong intuition kicking in and saying, here's what you need to do. So it's a very important state for all of us.
yeah, so this was a good lesson for her to hear in her dream because that's right on. I loved it. All righty. Now we get to move on. The next dream is Examining My Spine by Nancy. And here it is. I'm in a small rustic cabin and a woman comes in. She's some sort of a doctor or nurse, and she wants to examine my spine to make sure it's straight, or she's going to prescribe some sort of therapy. I feel like my spirit self. I stand, she checks it, and she's surprised and happy that it's perfectly straight. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And it's a very easy analysis. So I asked her, had anything gone on recently where she wondered about her posture? And Nancy's a trance channel. And, especially when you're learning to channel, your posture is often very, very important. Getting your spine perfectly straight, getting your everything in your environment correct and all that sort of stuff. But she's been doing it a long time. And when I channeled on it, they said, okay, look, she was concerned about her posture and she doesn't need to be because she's already achieved, like she knows how to get there. She knows how to get to that particular state. And so she could do it lying down. She could do it whatever way she wants. It's absolutely fine. It's really something we do typically as we're training. But once we know how to do it and get there, then we can do it any other way. So I asked her, was that an issue for her recently? And she said, yes, because I had channeled when I was lying down. I channeled for somebody when I was lying down. And I'm very cognizant of the fact that I always tell the people that I'm working on to sit up straight so that the angels can work on you properly. And so the answer from her angels was, that's important for the people she's working with, but no longer important for her. She can do what she wants.
Wow, that's awesome. I love it when dreams show positive things and answer questions like that. All righty, let's dive into the next one. So it's called Crossing the Giant Bridge by Emma. I'm driving with 4 friends, caravan style. We're each in our own car, and I am the last car. I'm driving a very big van. We are in a new city, maybe Philadelphia or Brooklyn, and I lose sight of my friends, so I don't know which way to go. I think about pulling over to text them, but I keep driving. And then directly ahead of me, I see a giant bridge, and there's no way to pull over, so I continue on, not knowing if I'm driving away from them or where I'm going. There are pedestrians standing in the lanes of the bridge. They are crossing the street and just stop and stand there in the middle of the lanes and socialize, standing in the middle of this giant bridge. I kind of ease around them because I'm feeling I'm in a hurry. I'm a little anxious about having lost my friends and navigating in a city. A guy I drive around is mad as I pass him. I reach the other side of the bridge and I make a couple turns, not sure which way to go. And then suddenly I see my friends up on the left sitting on a decorative boulder in front of a building. And now I'm with them and I'm telling them how amazing it is that I was guided right to them. And I didn't even know it, that I was completely lost, but somehow I magically found them. One of my friends responds in a very low energy way, not enthusiastic or supportive. And I hear her talking to another person. A little girl is there and asks the friend why she seems low. And she bends down and whispers that she's really tired. And then I realize that she's been working nonstop for a long time. She's wearing high heels, which she just took off. Her toes are squished and her feet look swollen. And I see I'm wearing high heels too, my favorite pair. They are elegant and sleek. Wow, Michael, this is going to be a good one.
How do you know? All right. So the caravan style with the 4 friends, so it's 3 friends and her, and she's in the last car. That was the giveaway. We know it's a spiritual dream because we have the reference to high heels and then crossing this giant bridge. So it's basically what the dream is talking about is she has done this before. She's living a spiritual life where she helps other people achieve their own spiritual goals and overcome issues and all that sort of stuff. But this is the 4th time that she's done it. And so the caravan style is that. So it's like, as I start off, I'm fine. I've done this before. I know where I'm going. Each life is different. When we do something that matches a previous lifetime, when we hit that energetic state that we achieved in the previous one, any other issue that we had at that time in that previous lifetime is kind of going to merge with this one, and we're going to have to overcome issues. And this dream is pointing out an issue that is a past life issue that just seems to come to her from nowhere. She doesn't understand it. So this is really the purpose of the dream. And so anyway, she's done this 3 times before. This is her 4th time, and she's gotten to the same place. She's crossed this bridge, so she's made the connection with the spirit world, and it's a big connection, emphasized by the bridge, the fact that it's got all these lanes in it as well. And she's had to overcome issues with people in order to get there. People are in her way, especially Dad, because we have the angry man that's in the dream. But we can kind of skip over that. She's aware of what she's had to do in all the work on herself in order to achieve what she's achieved, which is just fantastic. The boulders, you said they were all sitting on a decorative boulder, but they're each sitting on a different decorative boulder. So it's kind of like I have achieved a level of concreteness. Like I can point to something and say, this is what I've achieved in this lifetime, and this is what I've achieved in another lifetime. And including this one, she has achieved great things in this lifetime. And she can point to them and say, here's what I've achieved, and demonstrate it. And it's very good. But then we come to the crux of the dream, and we have this low energy previous version of herself, and she's taken off her high heels and her feet are sore. And so high heels are about moving forward in your higher calling. So it's always about spiritual stuff. So in one of her lifetimes, while she did achieve her goal, she was very weary by the time she got there. And we don't know why. The dream doesn't say why, but we know it's something from a young age because she's talking to a young girl and the young girl's asking her questions. Whatever age that young girl was, she carried stuff from that age. She didn't know how to heal it. So she got there, but it was a slog because of the fact that she didn't heal this previous stuff. And so the way it jumps on her now is suddenly feeling weary. Like I've achieved what I set out to achieve, but I am tired and I don't know why I'm tired. And she was like, oh, I get it. I totally get that. But I never knew where it came from. And it just bothered me because there's nothing I can point at that in this lifetime that wasn't exciting about what I've achieved. And yet I feel this weariness. So that's really good for her to know that she's helping heal that past lifetime. And with the skill set she has, she's going to be able to go after that just using her own techniques and so on. So that's really good. Is there anything else that we see? Yeah, she's wearing her own high heels, but they're her favorite pair. They're elegant and sleek. So that again emphasizes it's not from this lifetime. This lifetime, you're happy. This lifetime, you're really excited about your achievement and where you've gotten to. And there isn't this weariness. So it's definitely this previous stuff.
Yeah. So she mentions also she's a little anxious, and I'm assuming she's feeling that in this lifetime, which is what's bringing forward that issue from the past.
Absolutely. She does feel anxious in this lifetime, but not all the time. The anxiousness is, we come here and we kind of set ourselves up to make sure, for instance, in my case, to make sure that I end up rediscovering my ability to do dreams. And I've done this in other lifetimes too, but not to this degree. And so we do things in each lifetime. Everyone is different. And so there is that anxiousness around, will I achieve what I set out to achieve? But the beautiful thing about this dream is that it shows that she has. She's equaled where she's gotten to in previous lifetimes and is now ready to surpass that. And also it's very encouraging to see in a dream that you've done this before, because that's your credentials. Anything that we use in this lifetime, any gift that we bring with us, it's not one that we're going to learn in this lifetime and figure out how to use it and then help other people. That would just be insane. They don't do that. They ask us to use gifts that we already excel at. And we promise, okay, you're going to use your dream interpretation gift, Michael, to help these particular people that we've lined up for you. And we know you can do it because we've seen you do it in other lifetimes. And does that mean don't learn anything new? No, you can learn new things. You can enhance how you work, but you're not going to be set free using something you've just learned in this lifetime to help other people. So if you find that you are helping other people with something you've just learned, let's say, it means you've also used it before. Otherwise, there would be nobody lined up for you to work with. Hope that made sense. I'm not trying to knock learning something new. Obviously, learn new things.
Yeah. Also, she's been working nonstop for a long time. That was what she whispered to the little girl. So in this lifetime, is that a nod to how hard she's been working?
No, it's just, why does she have the sense that this has been a struggle periodically? She doesn't always have that sense, but periodically she does. And now we know why she gets it, because it has not been a struggle for her. Yes, she's put in the work, but she's enjoyed all of it. So it's not a sense of, oh, I got there, but I'm not sure if the price was worth it. That was a previous lifetime. This lifetime, it's definitely worth it. And she just doesn't understand sometimes why she feels it was a slog.
Wow, that's awesome. What an incredible dream. Not Happy I Won by Olivia. I dreamt that my landscaping project, $100,000 prize, it was a contest from Alderwood Landscaping. There were 4 winners and I won first prize. Excellent. I rode my bike up to a friend who was walking down a path to tell her, and she didn't seem very happy to me.
Okay. So again, it's pretty obvious when you know what it means, but obviously winning the landscaping prize is super, super good. And the one with all those zeros, super, super positive. So it's like, I have achieved something great about, great goals in my life. But even though I've achieved that, I've been successful, I don't have anybody in my circle with whom I can share my accomplishments with. So I can't go to somebody and say, look what I've done. I just feel fantastic because I've done this and I've done that and I've achieved this goal and I've achieved that goal. And now I don't know her circle, but when I was talking to her about it, she said that's absolutely true. There isn't anybody that she has in her circle that she can just say, she can just enjoy her victories with. You know, she's in this space where she's the person always helping other people. And so there isn't a space where she can just kick off her shoes and say, let's just enjoy what I've achieved. Not about other people, time for me to celebrate me. And so what her angel suggested is that she find a support group that is just for that, because there's going to be other people who have this exact problem. They've achieved good things, but they can't ever find a place where they can just kick off their shoes and not be working and just enjoy their achievement, enjoy the fact that they've achieved it, like tick the box and not be working and just enjoy our accomplishments. Does that make sense?
It does. Wow, that's really exciting. So landscaping, is that pointing to anything else than just it's a project that she won?
She has done that before. She's hired companies in fact, she hired that company, Alterwood Landscaping, to landscape one of her projects. But she's never won any prizes about it or anything. So dreams are going to pull in things that we've done, that we've accomplished. So if I was to ask her about the landscaping project that she used them for, it would probably be something that she was just super positive and gushing about because it really completed or set off the other work that she had done, really highlighted it. And I would imagine that in that space, that was also a place where she couldn't say, look what I did,
Yeah. Well, I like the fact that she at least takes the time to try to celebrate, even if she has no one in her circle. So I think that's a great idea. I'm tying it back to the first dreamer who didn't want to celebrate, just wanted to run past everything. Right. So that's pretty cool.
That's it. We were out of time. I enjoyed this show. We were very careful about the dreams we picked for this week to make it an exciting start to the new year. So happy New Year to everybody.
And we have tomorrow on Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month, which will be our dream clinic. So really excited about that coming up. It'll be at noon Pacific time. Go to
dream-analysis.com/clinic, and that will bring you to us. And if you're on our list, which you can get onto by going to dream-analysis.com and downloading my free dictionary, you will get an email with the link in advance of the event.
Happy New Year's, and I hope everybody has a fantastic year. And I'll see you next week or on Tuesday.